We want to give you an extra example or exercise that you can toy around with to see how to play with linear transformations. What's coming up is the very useful conversion of our data into a standardized data set. That's working with z-scores. But we wanted to just give you a feel for how to create minimums and maximums and ranges with a uniform variable using this rand function that we explored earlier. We are going to share with you the link, and then you can go up to File, make a copy, and then you can work with these directions or instructions we've given you for how to do the same basic thing with goldfish lengths. We'll work with your adult household cat weight, and I went into ChatGPT and I just asked, hey, what's a typical weight range for a cat? And based on a lot of factors, but let's just say healthy weight range, 6 to 16 pounds. We'll stay with healthy weight range. Of course, we could have outliers in either direction. So I'm going to head up here. I'm going to say the minimum weight is 6 and the maximum weight is 16, creating a weight range of 10. Now I want to just create a bunch of random data, and I want that random data to fall in the range 6 to 16. Well, if all I do is put in equals rand and then my parentheses, it will create data for me, but all of that data will live between 0 and 1. Every value just as likely as every other value between 0 and 1. I want it to fall between 0 and 16. One of the things that I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to shift my data, and the other thing that I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to scale my data. I want that range not to be 0 to 1. I want that range to be 0 to 10. What I'm going to do for that piece of the puzzle is I'm going to take my random data value and I'm going to multiply it by the range. I'm scaling it by the range. Let me just show you what happens if I go down this path. I will get values that range now, instead of 0 to 1, they now range between 0 to 10, which is, that was what I was after. So that's pretty cool. The next thing that I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to have it range not between 0 and 10, but between 6 and 16. So there's two ways to go about this. One is just to add the minimum to every data point. So I'm going to head up into the formula bar and I'm going to put in $E, $3 so that I am keeping that fixed, and I will head on down and we'll see that all of our values take on some number between 6 and 16, which is wonderful. The other way that I could have done it is, instead of adding the minimum to every value that I've created, I could subtract every value that I've created from the max, or from 16. So just to show you that that is an equally legitimate, although perhaps not quite as intuitive way to do it, I will head on over here and put in equals $F, $3 minus rand, parens, times my weight range, which is G3. And again, using the dollar signs to create absolute references. One thing that might be bothersome to you is why so many decimals, and it's not a big deal, but I will head on in and put equals round, go to all these values and say round out to 1 decimal. And if I do that and go down the column, now everything is rounded to 1 decimal. I'll do the same thing over here just to, keep it the same. Round, put in parens, 1. And that's probably easier to see the overall pattern. And we really do see, hey, either one of these, we get values somewhere living between 6 and 16. And one last proof of this, these are all different data sets. They're not meant to be pairs or anything, but just to show you that our values do indeed fall within the range 6 to 16. On the x-axis, we have values from 6 out to 16. On the y-axis, we have values 6 up to 16. And so all of our values are falling within that range, and that was our original goal from the get-go. One last cool point is you can change your minimum weight or maximum weight, or minimum value, maximum value, and automatically all your data will change for you. So let's do that. Let's say instead of a range of 6 to 16 pounds, we went for 5 to 20 pounds. And wow, we have that accommodated right away. way. Our x-axis goes 5 to 20, and so does our y-axis. So that's a really nice benefit of working with this kind of data series and referencing your values. Remember, Lines on Clay users, we have given you an extra exercise that will give you a boost and show you how to play around with these values yourself, so you can take this knowledge and make it your own.